Hello! Ah, here we go. Hello, good evening. Professor McCoy, welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance. I'm actually somehow early this evening, so let's jump into things. I have been told that I will not finish tonight, because there's still quite a lot to do involving a trebuchet and some other things, but we'll see. We'll see how far we get. We'll see how much longer we have afterwards. I'm not planning on, ooh, what time is it? It's still quite early, but it's alright. I'm not planning on rushing, so if it does take this week, next week, and perhaps even another one, that's perfectly fine. Really? Henry, why did you trip down the stairs? Oh, gosh. Anyway. So, that. Oh, that's the rat house. Okay, that's what the keys are about. So very nice. Like good old Pribyslavitz. Alright, so we need to go check in some of the towns for beer for the men sieging Talmberg. And if I'm arranging myself properly, I think Samapesh would be the easiest because that is the most clearly on the way to the monastery. Let's wait another hour until it's proper sunup. Maybe the rain will subside, not subsist. We don't want it to subsist. We want it to do the opposite. We want it to subside. Anyway, interesting word pair, but Okay, let us be off. I assume it's probably too early for any judgments, and I think I did all of them, the civic judgments, but I might check back in once or twice. Some of those are actually quite interesting. To Samapesh. Interesting.
Over here. Please help me, sir.
Okay.
Please, sir. Help me.
What's happened to you?
You look suspicious.
I've walked all the way from Kuttenberg, but as you can see, I'm barefoot. My feet are frayed to the bone. Don't you have a strip of clean cloth for me, good sir? So I can swathe my feet at least.
Do I?
Wait, I'll see what I've got.
Just one. There you go. That'll work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I seldom meet such a good Samaritan. God shall repay you.
Anytime. Take care now.
I guess he wasn't suspicious. Ah, how wrong I was. Now, onwards. All the way to Samapesh. Anyway, so I've been putting some general thought into my syllabus for ethics this coming fall. Sort of going back over in my head and reevaluating the. Are we gonna stop here or what? It's taking too long. Just sort of reevaluating how the last semester went, and I think that contrary to how my classes usually wind up, I may wind up needing to cut some things from the syllabus. Typically, what winds up happening over the course of teaching a class for several semesters in a row is I gradually accumulate more and more and more things until things are overly packed. The Riddler.
We've met before, haven't we?
But this
Come to
time,
think,
I think I
yes,
started
we have.
off a little bit too ambitious,
So,
and I
you
need
know
to
how
cut
it
it back
goes.
now so that then I
That
can
is
gradually
5
accumulate.
groschen. I'll give you a riddle, and if
Right,
you
let's
guess
give this a
right,
shot.
you get double. If not, the groschen are mine. So, what do you say?
Right. I do think, unfortunately, I'll probably wind up having to cut all or some of Anselm's philosophical dialogues, which is disappointing, but I'm probably going to have to. I may just include it sort of as a supplementary text and bring some of the ideas into some of the other things I'm explicitly teaching. But it's unfortunate because that is some of my favorite written philosophy that there is, and it's very closely related to ethics and the way I'm teaching it. But it's almost redundant, some of the other things that I am teaching, so I might have to get rid of it, unfortunately. Very disappointed by that, but
That sounds good.
oh well.
Let's do it.
So,
What
listen
goes?
well. A certain powerful nobleman committed a grave sin, and the bishop set him a harsh penance to pray in the chapel on his knees every day of the week, and for at least 2 hours each time. The nobleman was very busy and wanted to spend as little time as possible praying,
Ooh.
while keeping to the bishop's edict. How many hours in the week did the nobleman pray?
Ooh, okay. Ooh, interesting. All right, so he needs to be praying every day. So what that basically means is that he is praying between, realistically, what he's going to do is he's going to pray from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. every almost every other night, roughly every other night. So if he goes Sunday, Monday, that's 2 hours. Tuesday, Wednesday, that's 2 more hours. Thursday, Friday, it's 2 more, 6 hours. Then he just has to pray on Saturday because he can't do Saturday, Sunday. So it'd be 8. It has to be 8. He can't get away with less.
8.
Has to be.
You're right. The nobleman
Okay.
chose to pray for 2 hours at a time before and after midnight, between Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, Friday and Saturday, and then another 2 hours sometime on Sunday. Well, what can I do? Here's your 10 groschen. Spend them as best you can. Maybe we'll meet up again sometime.
We may well do so. Thank you.
Okay. It's it's odd that he would say starting on Monday, but I suppose the work week, or the functional week, the week of the non-end of the week, whatever, the week. Although it does start on Sunday and it starts with mass, a lot of people would presumably, like a lot of us do today, think of the week starting on Monday, and that Sunday is sort of a weekend kind of thing, at least for business, and that would be probably business. I wonder if that is actually quite realistic as to how they would immediately or obviously think of things, or if they would, as I did, start with Sunday and go Sunday night to Monday, because that seemed instinctive to me, going Sunday night to Monday, because the week starts on a Sunday, right? That's what I sort of instinctively think of it. I'm trying to find a wash basin. It's actually full of water. Here we go. Yeah, that's an interesting difference. What is A? What am I missing here? Oh, that's the trebuchet guy. Right. Conrad Kaiser. And a physician. And then beer. I wonder if I go back to Vranik, they'll still be there. Or they'll be back. Or not. There he is. Let's see.
God save you, good knight. What can I do for you?
I need to bring a few kegs of beer back to Talmberg.
I've hardly any beer left, but I have got a lot of goat's milk. Do you think that might lift their spirits?
I mean, maybe, but probably not. Okay, well, fine. Let's search elsewhere then. Long trips time, because now I'm gonna have to search some other places. So we go to Ledechko, and then if they don't have it, we can go to the Glade, and if they don't have it, we can go all the way up to Ujits. Good lord, here we go. Let's just wander the whole province time. Let's do this. I got on the horse, right? I hope I did. Pilgrim. A rather well-armed pilgrim.
What's it about?
You have incredible good fortune, friend. I have an offer for you, the likes of which
another
comes
treasure
along
map, isn't
only
it?
once in a lifetime.
I don't know. Isn't it stolen or something?
Look here, aren't you distrustful?
No, just cautious.
Very wise too. I'm only having a little fun with you, friend. Of course it's not stolen.
Of course it's not stolen.
All right,
Sure.
show me what
Why
you're
not?
selling.
As you wish.
Yeah, I've already read it, so I don't need it. Oh, thank you.
And it's safe as houses.
Yeah, I know, but I've already read it, so no thanks. Ledechko Odits.
Rare spices and tinctures, magical elixirs and amulets.
Okay, let us see them. Ah, you're the innkeeper. Here you are.
Greetings, good knight. How may I serve you?
Quite the glorious mustache.
I need to bring a few kegs of beer back to Talmberg.
I'm a few kegs short myself. And once I run out, my regulars will go elsewhere.
Okay. Fine. All right then. In the glade. Back there we go. All right. Did I cut out there for a second? That was odd. All right, let's see.
You're dead.
Nope. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, another stinger. Worth selling. He's Brigandine, worth selling. Bassinet, worth selling. Opens Coith, selling. Excuse me. What happened? That's weird. Decorated Bavarian hallmark. Cool. Also worth taking and selling. Spurs, obviously. Marigold decoction. Useful. 20 groschen. Chain. Alrighty then. To the inn. Let's go. My instincts said Ujits.
Yeah.
I should have just listened to that. Otherwise, my other assumption here is it is whatever the last one you go to is. It'd be rude, but alright, whatever. I don't actually need an inn. Wait, I do?
What do you think about Talmberg being attacked?
What do I think? That as long as decent people can live in peace, I can talk my way out of paying taxes. I don't care who my liege lord is.
Well, this new lord never forgets a man who fails to pay him a single groschen, and the poor probably go straight to the gallows for it.
That's terrible news, especially for us. Poor folk. I hope you'll drive him out of here so fast he'll shit himself, or hang him from the tallest Talmberg tree.
People usually shit themselves when that happens too.
All to the good. A nice bit of manure and everything blossoms.
Oh my gosh.
Wouldn't you like a change? We're rebuilding Pribyslavitz, and I could use you in the new tavern.
Can I need him?
Are
Do
you
I actually need
mad?
him?
I got the best in the province, and no one to tell me what to do. Why on earth would I change that?
Isn't there any way you could be persuaded?
Not a chance. Find
Okay, never
someone
mind.
else. Goodbye.
Thought I already did find somebody else, but whatever. It's fine.
Andrew, there's no more beer in Talmberg, and the soldiers are starting to grumble. Can't you send some there?
I could, but there's nothing in it for me.
Just as a matter of interest, who do you pay your taxes to?
You're saying I should be paying to Talmberg to old Sir Divish? When Sir Havel of Waldeck was the master here, I managed to wriggle out of it. Nobody's come collecting since.
Well, right now, there are 3 noblemen camped by Talmberg, one of whom might be very interested to learn about all the tax you owe. I imagine he might want to collect it in the form of beer.
When you put it like that, I have got a few kegs I could send over. I won't lose out too much. They'd only spoil if I kept them longer, and I'd have to throw them away.
Just remember, if you poison them, they'll hang you for it.
Those soldiers would drink it up long before it has time to go off. And what's more, what with all that cabbage being eaten, it wouldn't occur to anyone the shits came courtesy of the beer. I'll have them loaded up right away and taken there. And give their lordships my regards. Tell them I'm sending my best beer as a gift. Why the devil shouldn't I get some goodwill out of this at least?
Are you sure you want them to think that that's your best beer?
Goodbye.
Alright, whatever. I'm not gonna complain with it. It's fine, we got it done, we're good, we're all set. Actually, let me see, do you have a soup? Do you have any stew in the pot? I need to wander through and munch.
My pleasure.
No, here's the pot. Yum yums. Incidentally, I have always wanted to try making a perpetual broth or a perpetual stew, which is basically it's what you see throughout this game. It was a very common medieval practice, where you would effectively have a pot of stew or of broth or soup or something like that, constantly on the fire, at all times, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. and you would just continuously add to it. As more goes away, you add more to it. You add more water to top it off. You add more ingredients. You add more seasonings, more vegetables, more meat. Whatever you're adding, you're just kind of piling it on, and so it just sort of gradually sort of develops a flavor as it goes. And so long as you keep it above a safe cooking temperature, it's not going to go off. Marcus, probably. Where's the carcass? Oh. Oh my. Raider.
Probably the murder weapon.
Huh. Whoever left it. Hey, you.
What are you doing, you murderer?
What on earth are you talking about?
I saw you looting the corpse.
What's with your very strange mace? Take a look at his mace. It's hollow.
Here, so I could report it.
All right.
Look at that thing.
All right. I suppose you're not the guilty one after all.
Glad you saw sense. And what exactly were you doing here, anyway?
What are you getting at?
I found your weapon not far from here.
It's not my weapon, and you can't prove that it is.
It'll be easier for you if you confess.
All right, then. I did it. I didn't want to kill him. I just couldn't stop myself. There he is with money, strutting around. I've barely got enough to keep myself fed. You don't have to tell anyone, you know? And
I do.
And you won't regret it.
Forget it. I won't be bribed.
What? Really? Okay, fine. A small ledge stopped me. Not like I can report him. That actually has been bothering me for this whole game. Is that you can't actually report these people when this encounter happens.
Yeah.
Like, you can't actually go and report them. Nothing ever really comes of this. It's disappointing. Ooh, that was close. Okay. So, I need to go up to the monastery, because I need a physician. I need to get... I need to find this architect. I'll do the physician first. Duck.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard you and Pavel of Colleen gave a donation to Sasau. It's a pity you didn't think of us. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Oh. Okay.
Would you teach me more about...
Certainly.
I'd like to...
All right. But isn't that quite...
See if...
What about this?
You...
Since it's...
I don't... Agreed.
Okay, cool. New level in alchemy. What is my alchemy? 12. Okay. Well, I can't do the master one. I do get something in hunting. More damage to wild animals. Less skittish when you're close. Oh, I kind of want that. Yeah, want that. But now also,
I've come to ask for help.
Again? Such trying times we live in. God is testing us all. So what is it you need?
Their lordships have laid siege to Talmberg, and the brigands have wounded Sir Divish and many other people. I'm to ask if the monastery might send someone to help.
These are tragic times. Fortunately, I've only a little work left to do here, so I'll gather my things and set off for Talmberg.
Thank you, Father. May God reward you 1,000 times.
Farewell. Hey, wonderful. Kind of want to go back into the monastery and just sort of sneak around a bit in my full plate. Now is not the time. Now is not the time. There's a guard sitting right there. Let's.
Yeah! Are you blind, for Christ's sake? There's people walking here.
Sorry. It's the horse's fault. Not me. Anyway.
Yeah!
Let me ask the engraver. He might know. I have a feeling that he might. Oh, what? Okay, guess not. Just gonna
I
ask
hope
this
I can
guy.
be of some humble service to you.
Do you happen to know the whereabouts of Conrad Keyser?
And what do you want from the old buzzard? Never mind, what do I care? It's the big house in the courtyard by the monastery.
Oh. Okay.
Good luck to you.
That was easy. I was way off. Wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Here. Oh, well, with the custodian, of course.
How's it going?
Is this where Conrad Keyser lives?
Indeed. The world-renowned Conrad Keyser.
I need to speak to him.
Oh, really? Whatever for?
Tobias Fayfire has sent me. He is asking Master Conrad for help with the siege of Talmberg.
Must be important then. Go in. Well, I don't know how he can help from here. Here's the key.
Okay,
You look bored.
Beyond tears.
How can you be bored here in Sasau? In such a holy place, filled with knowledge.
Can't read,
Don't
can
even
you?
talk to me about it. They won't let you touch the books. They don't want to talk to you. And when I wanted to look at the remains of St. Procopius, at least, they ran me off. Me! Like some kind of thief. What good is the whole blasted monastery if I can't even do that?
Well, they say there's not much left of poor Procopius.
What's that got to do with anything?
I'm not blaming you. It's just that only monks have access to the reliquary in the crypt. Folk were even taking relics away from St. Procopius' cave for protection before. Now no one's allowed in there.
I know. But I'd never dream of doing that. I just wanted to touch them for luck.
Maybe I could help you.
How? You're not planning some mischief, are you?
No, not at all. I was going to bring you something from the cave under the monastery where he spent his time. You can get in there. You could touch it for luck, and then I'd return it.
Well, now. You do that for me?
Of course.
Then I'll be very grateful to you.
Okay. Sure. Oh yeah,
I've got a bowl for you from the cave of St. Procopius.
A bowl? I was expecting something a little different.
Behold.
Ah. Is it really from St. Procopius?
Yes. From his cave. A truly astonishing place. This surely has miraculous powers.
You're right. My God, you're right. Such holiness.
Presumably.
I'm in your debt, Henry. How can I repay you?
Thanks, but I don't want anything. I was glad to help.
Truly? Well, thank you.
My pleasure.
And Henry?
Just being nice to folks.
I just wanted to touch it for luck. If you took something you shouldn't have, I expect you'll put it back. See you later.
I will do that.
Enter.
Well, that was dramatic. Very nice in here.
By the horn of Joshua, you startle me.
Very nice quarters.
I thought you were urban. What do you want?
Sir Tobias Fayfar, the master builder and engineer from Skalitz, sends his greetings.
Fayfar? Tobias Fayfar? I've heard of him. He invented an interesting mining machine. What does he need?
Sir, have you heard what's been going on in Talmberg?
I've heard a thing or two. Is it true the castle's been taken?
It has, and we want to take it back. Master Fayfar has been given the task of building a trebuchet, but he's not sure he can manage it.
I doubt it myself. Building siege engines is an entirely different kettle of fish than mining. Damn, I'd like to rain some boulders on those heathens.
That up there,
Sigismunds.
next to his head, the black mark on the
quill
wall.
and parchment, and
That
I
is
can't
why.
leave here right now.
That is why torches were not often used for interior lighting. Like, you know, stereotypically we find that in sort of medieval pseudo-authentic or inauthentic kinds of settings. Where here, typically, in this game, what we find are candles, and rushlights, both of which were very historical for the time period. But torches were very, very impractical. They leave a mess, they drop ash and detritus all over, often burning detritus, which is actually quite dangerous, especially if you're living in a wooden house and you have any thatch on the floor or anything like that. But also, they horribly smoke up the walls like that. And so it's really, really uncommon to have that sort of thing. Why am I dropping frames? Oh, okay. I guess I'm all right. Anyway, sorry. If I was jittery, I apologize. But yeah, that's. I'm glad that they actually show that the one place where they have a torch sconce, it is not a nice practical place for lighting. It is more like you have a torch there at night in case you need to grab it and go outside. It's basically like keeping a torch or a flashlight near your door if you need to turn it on and go outside, kind of thing. That's what a torch would be for. You light the thing and go out. It's for outside lighting because the big old flamey thing that's making a mess. Anyway,
why can't you leave?
That's a long story. I was a little, more than a little, critical of Sigismund's efforts at Nicopolis. And it might surprise you to know, after that defeat, he didn't particularly appreciate my criticism. Then, when Sigismund abducted the king, I didn't feel too secure in Prague, so I left. Perhaps left is the wrong word. Some might say I was banished. In any case,
great.
I went to Bethlern Castle.
And why are you here in Sasau?
To be honest, I need the money.
Money, sir? You don't seem like a man who lives in want.
Dear me, no. I don't need it to support myself. It's to fund my opus. That's why I agreed to help with the construction of the monastery. So you see, I can't simply take my leave.
Interesting. Okay.
What is it you're working on, sir?
Belli Fortis, a great book of war machines and weapons, my opus magnum, my legacy.
Is this...
All you have seen here are
a real
snippets of my great work. Mark my words. One day,
I'm curious.
our whole world will be run by machines and inventions not yet dreamed of.
Of course. Any day now, they'll plough our fields and milk our cattle.
What did you say?
Well, it'll be a while, but yeah.
Oh, nothing. Just thinking aloud about things for battle.
Belli Fortis. The first fully illustrated manual of military technology dating to the early 15th century. Look at that. So yeah, this is by Conrad Keyser. Would you look at that? Illustrated manuscript. I'm gonna have to take a look at this at some point. I'm deeply curious. I've always been fascinated by such things. I've mentioned before that I have built at this point 3 catapults. Either directly inspired by or directly drawn from historical designs and historical manuals. And I don't mean like modern inspiration of historical manuals. I mean reading ancient historical manuals, looking at translations for the texts, looking at the diagrams, and creating the things from those diagrams. The first time I screwed up horribly, which was funny. The second time I did it a little more accurately because I scaled it down somewhat. But we did the first time was simply inspired by some historical examples, but more recently, both times in undergrad college, I made a contraballista, so a 2-armed torsion catapult, and then an onager, a single-armed torsion catapult. The first one, the contraballista, we screwed it up pretty badly. We wildly underpowered the thing for its scale, because the thing is supposed to scale to its spring diameter, which we didn't realize. We missed that part in the manual. Instead, we scaled it to a cubit. We just used a cubit as the unit for scale, so 18 inches, because this was an ancient Greek design, so the common unit of measurement. So, okay, great, we used a cubit for scale, and then we used a coil of rope for each spring. That was enough, right? No, of course not. We used a coil of hempen rope for each string, which we got like at Home Depot or whatever. Strung it. So 18 inches is about that. About like this, right? Give or take. So the spring coiled, it's supposed to be about that diameter, this big round. It's a big ass spring. Because this thing had I think a 12-foot draw length. It was huge. It was designed to shoot like it was supposed to, if the manuals were to be believed. It was supposed to shoot stone projectiles about the size of a softball. And it should have shot them 200 to 300 yards. It, of course, did not do that. Because our springs wound up being about that big around instead of that big around. And so they had nowhere near the power that they should have. Which, now, don't get me wrong, it still fired. It was still a hell of a lot of fun. It was really cool. It was a massive project. And man, it was great. It was really cool. We were like shooting, because it was around Halloween time when we finished the things, we were shooting like those tiny little baby pumpkins. And those things were shooting like 40 or 50 yards, which is really impressive. When one of those things just goes flying like 40, 50 yards, that's great. But it's not what it's supposed to be by any stretch of the imagination. We got docked on our grade for it. It was for class. But anyway, I digress. I corrected the error with an onager, so a single-armed torsion catapult a few years later that worked much better to scale. Again, to scale, I scaled the thing down, and I kept the spring diameter about what it was, about what the other one was. It did about 8 inches. I think I think it was 6 inches. I think it was about a 6-inch spring diameter, so it was a big chunk of spring. But the thing was scaled down pretty substantially, so that it was actually scaled to the proper spring diameter. And so scaling it down, it shot smaller projectiles about the same distance as our much larger one, just because it was being scaled properly. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. It was a great project. I've never built a trebuchet. Maybe someday that'll be something I do with the kids, because I've got some catapult engineering experience, more than Master Fafar, certainly, as I was saying last week. But I'd really like to build a trebuchet someday. Maybe it'll be a cool project to do with the kids someday. And now, of course, I've come to suspect that first project, the first catapult I made, which was my dad helped with quite a bit, and it was in middle school. Used surgical tubing, elastic, which, man, that stuff's powerful. Like thick surgical tubing. I used that for the springs, double layer on that, and just it was extremely powerful. But it was I'm now, as a father now, I'm thinking that my dad might have been helping me with that out of maybe some of his own wish fulfillment.
Who do you work for here?
My contract is with the abbot himself, but I discussed the work details with Carol, the monastery's master builder.
Okay.
Could I help you escape, perhaps?
Who says I want to?
But you said you couldn't leave, sir.
Young man, I can't leave because I gave my word I'd help with the building of the monastery here.
That's fair.
And my word is my bond. I have no intention of sneaking away like some criminal.
Could I not just pay off the master builder for your services?
I doubt it. Carol is only interested in the construction. As long as he has the money to pay the craftsman's wages, that's all he needs.
Ah, as long as he has enough for wages, you say?
Yes. What are you thinking?
What?
Couldn't Carol be persuaded somehow? After all, the defence of the province is at stake.
I realize that, but Sassar Monastery has always kept its neutrality. What's more, the abbot isn't here at present, and without his permission, Carol won't be persuaded. But I might have another idea.
What do you suggest?
Carol received his commission in writing. If you found it, we could copy the abbot's seal and signature on our own document.
That's a curiously interesting idea.
My inventiveness has many applications. I could be back here before the abbot, so he won't even know I was gone.
How do I get my hands on the commission?
It's an option, I guess.
It will be somewhere in his quarters. You'll need to get it quickly and put it back before he notices it's gone. I suggest waiting until evening. That's when Carol usually goes to the tavern to play dice. He's fond of his dice. Maybe you can take advantage of that somehow.
Right. I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Okay, so I think I have another option. I can just completely ruin this guy's day at dice. Where's comrades? Where am I going? Let me see. Can steal his commission, or I can make sure he's short of money for wages. Let's see about the commission. Is he in the monastery? He is, isn't he? Oh, no. This it. This is house right here. Well, seeing as he's not here... That was easy. I can still go and beat the hell out of him at dice. I'm thinking about it. But no, let's just go do this. I mean, if he doesn't really care for, you know, actually dedicating himself to the work, then that's fine. Wait, where'd he go? Hey, there you are.
The Lord be praised. What
Caesar.
brings you to me?
I've got that commission.
Don't yell at you,
Not
idiot.
so loud, for heaven's sake. Show it here.
Henry.
The very thing.
Henry.
Go to the Sasau scribe and say to him, the fox isn't half as clever as he thinks. Then he'll do as you ask.
Is that a password?
Just so. He insists on it. Don't forget to repeat it verbatim and aloud. Then all you have to do is take the new document to Carol and tell him a messenger brought it.
All right.
But most importantly, do it quickly and put the commission back immediately. Carol's no fool. If he can't find it, he'll put 2 and 2 together when you bring him the new document, and the game will be up.
Okay, where's the scribe?
Yeah.
And it's the fox isn't half as clever as he thinks, right? That's
Yeah.
I think that was the password. I hope that's right. Where is this scribe? Down in Sasau proper. It's gonna go there.
Yeah.
I say I'm going to go the reasonable way, and then I do this. Anyway, let's, good. Yeah. The streets are strangely empty. What early evening. Some of the mud off my armor.
I'm honoured that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
I have a message for you.
Hmm?
The fox isn't half as clever, right?
The fox isn't half as clever as it thinks.
What?
The fox!
Jackass! What in heaven's name are you blabbering about?
Did I get the
Conrad
wrong
Keyser
one?
sent me.
Why the hell didn't you say so?
That sod. He deliberately lied to me to make me look stupid.
Well, never mind. What do you want?
Really?
I've got this document here, and I need to have a different
Hi,
one
Dominic.
drawn up
Good
with
evening.
the same signature and seal.
So Conrad is still up to his old tricks. Give him my greetings.
What, does he usually do this? Is this normal?
All right. Give me an hour. And I hope I won't have problems on your account. Farewell.
Oh no, of course not. It'll be just fine. In that hour, I'm going to go and I'm gonna go beat up. I'm gonna go beat the builder like a used horse at dice.
Yeah.
You weren't here yet. I just discovered that just how historical this guy and his expertise is. I had actually never heard of this guy, Conrad Keyser, and I'm disappointed that I hadn't, because it's the sort of thing that I'd quite interested in. Master Carol.
I hope I can be of help to you, knight.
I hear you like to play dice.
Always. Take.
Pour me an ale.
All right.
You're a brave soul taking me on. I'm not used to losing.
How much are we playing for? That'll work.
I hope that's the end of it.
Ooh, jeez. All right, all
No
right.
point in pushing it.
All right. Let's see how we're doing here.
Here, just as you ordered.
Over here. I'd like to order.
Yeah. And I've noticed a lot of people.
I'm dying of thirst here.
Sod this.
Got
Hey,
it for you right
dying
here.
of thirst here.
How much longer must I wait?
Here you are, and good health.
Okay. That's it. I'm gonna pass.
Here you are, and good health.
6 odd dice is the best. I think it might be. I actually don't know what the odds are for the other loaded dice.
Here you are.
Ooh,
Good health.
nasty, 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 nasty. All right. I'm still ahead. Still ahead by a bunch.
Let me have some grub.
Here we are.
Ooh.
That's all.
Okay. Alright, I just gotta get 800 this round.
To good neighbors.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Here,
6.
just as you ordered.
Bring me something to eat.
That'll get me over 4,000.
Come
I'm good.
right up.
Victory.
Other women. God bless.
Why the hell did I even start playing?
Are you your problem?
Let me have some grub. Whatever's quick.
Those were my last goddamn groschen.
I've just realised, without that money, you'll be short of coin for Conrad's wages, won't you?
You fucker.
What a shame. But I'll gladly give you your money back.
What?
If you allow Conrad a short sabbatical in Talmberg.
That's what you had up your sleeve from the very beginning.
I mean, yeah.
Agreed then?
There are charts to tell you the odds.
1 week.
Yeah, I know that the beta die is worse. I discovered that. I still don't. I just don't need to give. I don't need to get the writ back at all. I should have just done that, and I should have done that anyway. Whatever. I'm sure the scribe won't mind having done all this work for nothing. Okay, back to Conrad.
Yeah.
I do think that odd dice are pretty good. I usually use most of them. I think the Heavenly Kingdom one is very good, but I don't know. I don't know. It's whatever. I'm just... First of all, I'm generally relatively good at the game anyway. Relatively good at judging... Wait, why am I doing... What am I here? Why am I here? This isn't right. I'm relatively good at judging when I should hold and when I should roll again, that sort of thing. Gotten better at that. So the loaded dice help, but it's not strictly essential. Sorry, you'll be fine. Just ran you over.
How are you, Henry?
Quite well, thanks, Urban. Where you go? There you go.
They're after me! Sweet Jesus, I knew this day would come!
What? Who is... Carol said you could leave and...
Leave? I can't even set foot outside the door! Not now!
Please, calm down and tell me what's going on.
They're after me!
Who? Who's after you?
Here we go.
Sigismund's people, of course!
Why would they be after you?
Because he's never forgiven my criticisms of Nicopolis. Now he's decided to pay me back. What am I to do?
What makes you think someone's after you?
When I was on my way to Sassau, I saw Baron Pekar in Kostelitz. He was with Sigismund on the crusade, as was I. Now I've been told he was seen at the local tavern.
What?
And a stranger's been creeping around the gardens here late at night. My God!
You sure
there
that wasn't
are
me?
signs someone was trying to force the door. They're after me, Henry. The Lord preserve me. They want to kill me.
Okay.
Take it easy. If someone's after you, I'll see to him. I'll have a sniff around the town or lie in wait for him.
I don't know. What if he sneaks past you?
He won't, I promise. I'll hide in the garden, and if anyone starts creeping around after dark, I'll catch him.
You will, won't you? Good, good. And be sure to hide well. If he sees you, he won't come.
This is so absurd. Midnight, huh? Oh, is it the inn during the day? Okay then. Maybe I'll just do that. It's almost 9 now though. I don't know if it's still there. I can go check. I have a few hours before midnight. Which inn? The inn I was just at?
Hey, Henry's come to see us.
Henry's come to see us. Okay, let's go and see. I really hate the roads here. These are so ridiculous. There we go. God. Might be too late, but let me have a look. Fresco Master? Is it the Fresco Master I should be talking with, or what?
One beer for me.
Zach?
God save you. What can I do for you?
Do you know anything about a Master Paykar?
That nobleman that showed up recently. They
Oh,
say
the
he's
other
staying
inn.
at the local inn. Goodbye.
Oh, he has a book to sell. Okay, go check that out before I go. So, Master, there you are. Hello.
I hope I can be of help. Good luck to you.
Wow, and a treasure map. Wonderful. All right. Attack the... Why would I attack the Fresco Master? I mean... Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about all that. It seems like a bad idea to me. Wait, is that a meme? Is that like a thing? That like a thing surrounding this game or something?
I'll be back in 2 shakes. I'll bring it right away.
Nope, that's the priest. Where? This is the inn, right?
I hope I can be of help.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about a Master Paykar?
Rings a bell. Is he some kind of merchant? No, that was a man by a similar name.
Okay, never mind.
God be with you.
That's weird. Was he not here?
Coming?
Where the heck is the inn then? Inn. We'll be wearing noble clothes, but where? I don't know where there's an inn. There's the bathhouse. There's an innkeeper, but it's not an inn. The place I sleep. I thought that was here. I actually don't know if I've ever slept in Sasau. I usually just sleep at the monastery because it's free. This, right? That inn. Oh yeah, the what? Where I just was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's where I just was. That is an inn. Oh my gosh. Okay. I didn't see him there, so he may be gone for the night.
Yeah.
Did not see him there. Time's it? Yeah, he's probably gone. Merchant's clothes. Do you know about this guy?
God be with you.
Would there be a Master Paykar here by any chance?
But of course. What's your business with him?
Why's he come here?
Why so inquisitive?
My master's thinking about a trade he proposed, so I'm asking around to see if he can be trusted.
He's a decent man. He pays his debts and he's certainly no cheapskate. They say he trades in cloth.
Cloth?
What kind of man is he?
People like him well enough. And as for me, well, half my profits are his doing.
Hey?
What does he look like?
Oh, he's easy to spot. If I had clothes like his, I'd sell them and live happier on the takings.
Okay then.
Thank you.
Good luck to you.
No. Okay. I take it he's already out. Right? Or am I nuts?
Ale for me.
I'm honoured that a knight such as...
Do you know anything about a Master Paykar?
Of course. I've played dice with him at the inn. A decent man. Farewell.
Okay, well...
Look out.
Fair enough. Let's just go back to the monastery. Why would I have unlocked the inn? I've never bothered.
Yeah.
I'll say a lot of the let me put it this way. At this stage in the game, and at this level of wealth, Henry's thieving days are well behind him. So I'm just gonna... Oh, pay for the inn, have it unlocked thereafter. Yeah, true. True. I've never bothered with this one just because the monastery is right next door and you can sleep for free. Most of them I have. I didn't know it stayed unlocked, though. I never realized that. Near the wheelbarrow. Over here. Those dandelions. Okay. Figure out where exactly. Hey, whatever. I'm basically unspottable. It's fine. Oh. Where's the wheelbarrow then? In the path. Go up. Where's the wheelbarrow? Over here? This? That's a cart, but I guess close enough. This will be fine, yeah? I'm assuming this will be fine. Cart, wheelbarrow, I mean, it's close enough. Close enough. Anyway. Alright. Alright. So while we're waiting, Dominic, you saw this. I shared that video from Michael Knowles in the Discord. Was it in the philosophy? Yeah, I guess it was in philosophy. And it was about oh, he's just yawning. Okay, I thought he was growling at someone. It was about how there's this weird swinger couple that was seducing some women to come home and do weird sex things with them, and he was pointing out how and it was thought, right? It was thought there was a legal case going on. There was a lawsuit going on that they had potentially drugged these women and then brought them home with them. But of course, that the case eventually got dropped. And Knowles brings up a point, I think it's actually pretty solid, that regardless of whether they drugged anyone or not, what they were doing was incredibly predatory, because they were basically just taking they were doing as best they could to exploit and use these women for their own selfish pleasure, and also notably, something he didn't really address, but I think we should reasonably add, that he was attempting, that he, the more so the man in the couple, but really the couple in general, that they were attempting in some sense to lure these women into grave sin, right? It's actually something that is really worth noting about manipulation like this, seduction in particular, especially seduction. That and this is a large part of why, for the ancients, as Knowles noted, then also through the Scholastic period, through the Middle Ages, why seduction was seen as either the equivalent to, or even in some cases thought of as morally worse than outright forcible rape. And it's because rather than imposing something on somebody else, harming somebody, which, I mean, rape obviously does, sexual assault is directly harmful to people. It hurts someone gravely, right? And that's extremely bad, obviously. However, seduction is more subtle. Because what it does is it is essentially providing something like a near occasion to grave sin. What you're doing is you're putting something in front of someone that you expect them to follow, and knowing that following that will not just harm them, but it'll cause them to it'll provide for them a reason that they have to harm themselves, which is even more wrong. Right? It's not just hurting someone's body. It's not even just hurting someone's mind. It's hurting someone's soul. And while the action is not as deliberate, right, in an act of seduction, the other person has to, in some sense, morally cooperate. They have to cooperate with it, or else it doesn't happen. But by trying so hard to get someone to, I might have just seen somebody move. By trying so hard to get someone to do something heinously wrong, what you're effectively doing is you're not coercing, but you're providing somebody with the opportunity to do something evil, which is ultimately a harm to themselves. And so seduction. This is why, for instance, the word that gets that the same word in Hebrew and in Greek, I think. I'm not sure about that. Certainly, the same word in Hebrew in the Old Testament is translated in varying translations as seduction, rape, or violation, even. And that's because they had, roughly speaking, the same legal penalty in Old Testament Israel. And it's because they were functionally the same thing. If a man, say, deflowers a woman, that young woman is harmed by it, regardless of whether she consented or not. If she consented to it, then she acted along with it. But it was his presentation of a near occasion of sin, which gave her the chance to do so in a real and a robust sense. Did I miss it? I keep thinking somebody's moving right there, but it's just me bobbing around a bit. It's scaring a light. It's well past midnight now. Hope I didn't miss it. Find out more about Pekar. But I can't. I'm up. Good dog. I wonder how long I should wait. Because it's already 1 o'clock. Wait for a little while longer. Another in-game hour, perhaps. I don't know how I could have missed it. Was asking around for Pekar, did that maybe trigger the other part of it? No, watch out for the assassin at midnight. Okay, no, it's still part of the quest. Gives you a chance to talk to Pekar tomorrow, then. Seems like you should have missed it. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. But maybe I was wandering around the garden at the wrong time or something? I don't know. Big ol' yawn. I mean, regardless, if I scared off the assassin, I scared off the assassin. Maybe I should. I mean, if Conrad were even the least bit reasonable, I could convince him of that. That hey, I was up here all night, you absolute crazy person, and no one tried to kill you. But no, he's not a well-adjusted fella, is he? He's a bit unhinged. Must have been close to his path at the wrong time. Which, you know what? Again, fine, whatever. There are worse things. Anyway, though, yeah, I think that that again, there's an interesting subtle moral difference because it's important to remember that no one can ever, under any circumstances, even possibly, coerce your actions in the strictest sense. No one, not even God, can compel you to sin against your will. It's an impossibility. It is a metaphysical impossibility just based on what it means to act and what it means to act against your will. Acting against your will is impossible. It's a contradiction in terms. Because to act is to enact your will. It's to act freely and voluntarily and deliberately, all that. If something happens against your will, you're not doing it. It's not an action. And so therefore, if you're compelled to do something, you're not compelled to do it. It is just something that happens. Right? It's an event, not an action. Use sort of modern ethical terms. This is very fundamental to a text I was mentioning earlier. Anselm's, I believe this is on freedom of choice. I can actually just read the passage, I suppose, while we're waiting. This is chapter 8, by the way, on freedom of choice, Anselm's dialogue. That not even God can take away rectitude of the will. So in other words, not even God can compel you to sin. So if they compel you to rape someone, is it no longer a sin? Well, so this is nuanced, and it would have to depend on what you mean by compel here. And if it's actually compelled, if it's compelled in the sense that you had no choice, you literally had no choice, right? That it was against your will. And no, it wasn't a sin because it wasn't an action. You didn't do it. It's like if somebody comes and shoves you over and you fall into someone and you knock them over. Did you actually knock the person over, or was it the person who bumped into you? No, it was clearly the person who bumped into you and then just sort of dominoed you into the person that you knocked over. You didn't knock somebody over. You're not in any way at fault or responsible for knocking somebody over. You have no culpability in the matter. Right. So God at any rate cannot take away rectitude of the will. The teacher says, you must understand in what sense he can't. He can indeed reduce to nothing the whole substance that he has made from nothing, but he cannot take away rectitude from a will that has it. We're speaking of the rectitude of the will, in virtue of which a will is called just, that is, rectitude that is preserved for its own sake. Now, no will is just unless it wills what God wills it to will. Okay, so what defines a will as just is willing in accordance with God's will. Got it? Cool. Then for any will that preserves rectitude, its persevering in rectitude of the will, for the sake of rectitude itself, is the same as its willing what God wills it to will. If God takes away this rectitude from someone's will, he does so either willingly or unwillingly. So it's either in accordance with the person's will that God takes away rectitude, or it's against the person's will that he takes away rectitude. Okay. So if he takes away rectitude from someone's will, he wills what he does. So if God takes away rectitude from someone's will, and the person allows it to occur, if they consent to it, then God didn't take it away. They did. They abandoned rectitude of the will. They chose to do something wrong. If you consent to it, then you are doing it. God's not. Or, in this case, the person who is compelling you is not. However, if rectitude is taken away from, if rectitude of the will is taken away involuntarily against their will, then they haven't willed it. They haven't willed to abandon rectitude, and so they haven't abandoned it. Okay? So they haven't actually willed something evil. So if God compels something to happen, then that's God doing it. And so therefore it's in accordance with God's will, even though it's not your action. So since it's not your action, you're in no way culpable for it. It is simply God's will that is occurring. And so it's not your action, so you're in no way culpable for it. Boom. It is impossible to sin against your will. And it is also impossible to be coerced to sin. Caveat. It is possible to be given to be placed into a situation where not sinning is very difficult. Usually because of imposed consequences, right? Like gun to your head, do this terrible thing or you'll be shot. Or do this terrible thing or I start murdering civilians. Think supervillain kind of behavior. Right? In that case, your options are constrained. And because your options are constrained, your action is semi-willing and semi-unwilling. It's willing in the sense that you have a choice still. You can choose to allow yourself to be killed, or you can choose to sin. That's a genuine choice. And don't forget that that's a genuine choice. But then also, it's involuntary in the sense that the constraint placed upon your options is not your choice. It is the choice of the person imposing it upon you. And so the person imposing it upon you bears the majority of the fault for the situation. Well, sorry, the entirety of the fault for the situation, and therefore the majority of the fault for your choice, would be it one way or the other. So, yeah, Dominic asks, what about Judas? Was he forced or fated to do what he did? No, I take that to be something that he chose to do and then later regretted. He repented, sort of. Repented improperly. And so there's a very good likelihood that he's in hell for it. But not necessarily. Again, I don't think it's necessarily the case that Judas is in hell, even. Dante aside, I think that it is, strictly speaking, possible for Judas to have genuinely repented and to have been forgiven. I think that it's unlikely from what we know from Scripture, but it's possible. He certainly didn't do so unwillingly. It was willing, even though it was predestined in the sense that Christ foresaw its occurrence. He knew that it would occur. He knew that it would happen. But he knew that it would happen because it did happen. Right? Judas's choice is what caused God's knowledge. God's knowledge is not what determined Judas's choice. What do you mean revelation of the method? I'm not. That's not ringing a bell. Not sure what you mean. If an evil person sells you a poison apple, but it's clearly known it's poison, you buy it anyway. You're not responsible for it killing you, or they are not responsible for killing you. Yeah, right, correct. I mean, put it this way. I think that drug dealers are not directly or primarily responsible for the deaths of their of overdoses, of people who overdose on drugs that they sell. So long as they are, again, upfront about what they're selling, and the person who buys it is aware of the risks and aware of that they could overdose on this. Yeah, I don't think that drug dealers are responsible for the deaths of their customers, say. The customers who, buy drugs and overdose and die. There are exceptions to this, of course, where the drugs are cut unreliably and in a way that isn't isn't obvious and isn't labeled or anything like that. Right. So if you have one drug that's cut with something else, and so you wind up taking too much because you're not sure of the concentration, and you're not sure of the concentration because the dealer either lied about it or didn't say anything. That is, in a case like that, I would say that dealers are largely culpable. But in terms of just selling drugs to somebody and they just take it until they die, that's not the dealer's fault. Any more than selling someone a gun and they go to kill somebody, the seller isn't at fault for that. Revelation of the Methodism, Satanist Luciferian thing. Probably not. I'm not too familiar. I haven't actually put too much study into modern Satanism. It reminds you of Anselm, the derivative. I mean, that is a thing that I give up. I know a lot of modern Satanism is, I guess you'd say, inspired by scholastic Christianity. Mostly just because Satanists understand the power and the significance of Catholicism. At least the ones who are relatively serious do. And so because they sort of understand that, they're more likely to rip off stuff that is genuinely Catholic and what would you say? Desecrate the genuinely sacred rather than desecrating what is, what would you say, only apparently sacred, something like that. It's why like Luciferian Satanists, as distinct from sort of LaVeyan atheistic Satanists, theistic Satanists, are it's like 30%. Yeah, whatever, I don't care. It's fine. Mostly just passing time. It's why theistic or Luciferian Satanists are quite dedicated and quite serious about desecrating the Eucharist, but desecrating the true Eucharist. And how did I improve drinking? I didn't drink anything. That's weird. Oh, whatever. Let's go talk at the inn, shall we?
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, like I said, it's why the genuine Luciferian Satanists are quite committed to desecrating the actual Eucharist, because they recognize that there's something actually to it there. Oh yeah, I know. I could do the bathhouse thing, but whatever. The bed was right there. The convenience thing more than anything. Alright, where's this Paycar guy? Ah, there he is. Yeah, you're right, he's dressed very nicely. I think I have Troubadour. Oh, is it speech? Yeah, I have Troubadour.
All right.
Anyway.
God be with you.
Would you be Master Paycar?
Oh, I'm all dirty.
With whom do I have the pleasure?
Henry, of Skalitz.
And what do you want from me, Henry of Skalitz?
To ask why you've come to Sasau.
An interrogation, then, I see. On business, of course.
And who is it you're doing business with?
Why don't you ask about my mistresses instead? My trade partners are my own private concern.
Okay, well...
Stay away from Master Keyser.
Keyser? Conrad Keyser? Why should I want anything to do with him?
So he doesn't need to worry about you?
Worry? Good Lord, no. Why, we were friends.
Right. Okay, well, fine. This is ridiculous. See, I knew that... I knew he was a bit unhinged. But...
Right, that'll be everything.
As the master instructs. Take
Great. Is my... Still nice and full. Oh yeah, I need to sell off some of that crap. Do that at the smithy. Oh! You'll be fine. Walk it off. Anyway. Good enough.
I'm honored that you should come to me. See you later.
Oh yeah, that's right. Still have that book to read. Oh, what does my sword say? I forget. Look. Can I still sharpen it? It's upside down, which is nice and convenient. Yesum habemos socium? Socium. What about socium? It's something we have. We have the something of Jesus. We have the socium friendship, maybe? It's something like that. It's something like we have the friendship of Jesus. Look at this one. Does it say anything on it? It's all bloody as hell. I wish there were a way to just clean your sword. Yeah, damn. Can you do some repair?
Take care.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
With you, Henry.
And with your spirit. There's actually inscriptions on quite a few swords. That's actually, honestly, that's another reason I really like the swords playthrough, is because some of the sword designs in this game are really, really nice. What's going on here? I still have to watch for the assassin. Okay. Oh, they want to kill me. Blah, 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 blah. Alright. Well, I have a book to read, so... Oh, wow, it'll only take me an hour to finish it. Jesus. Okay. Yeah, they can walk around my horse. It's fine. I'm important. Oh, that's how I improve drinking. That's right, because I have that perk. Forgot I had that perk. Right. Jeez. Oh. Hey. I'm gonna go to there, I guess, because I have time. Something like here. So like... something like there.
Welcome, Henry.
Thanks. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm leaving and coming back. Because I have time. I have time to kill. So I'm gonna go do this treasure hunt during the day. Because why not?
Yeah. Learn how to ride a horse.
Learn how to walk. You can tell me exactly where it is. If I haven't already gotten it, I may have. I may have just stumbled across it. Because I know I've gotten several in that area.
Yeah.
Oh, I also don't have a spade. I think I dropped it somewhere or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I dropped it or... I already checked this out.
Who's there?
What's that?
Well now,
Nothing.
look what's come crawling out from under some rock. Oh,
Kurwa fix.
Poor bastards. Yeah. Ooh, 50 groschen. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Got some cash on him. Fair enough. I need the spade for some, but not others. Okay, okay. Oh, it's just a copy of exactly what that guy has in his inventory. Oh, Vijek. Okay, no, I have... like, in here. Okay, whatever. Go along by the river, huh? Yeah, I did make the ground for Stephanie. So, I did... That's when I came by here. Just there's more bandits, that's all. Forgot what that was, but... yeah. But no, I did use the gem from there. crown. It's... Let me check my map. Okay, no, I have to go south, and it's on a hut on top of a hill. That's easy enough. Here's a hill. I've been almost everywhere, either on or off stream. There's almost nowhere in the province where I haven't been at some point. Cross the river and turn left, top of the hill. That's what I figured. Right around here somewhere, right? Yeah, this is a very tall hill. Sure is.
This is certainly no time for roving.
Wait, am I at the edge? Oh, geez. Too tall hill. Too far. Too far. Yeah, deer. Have I gone too far?
Yeah.
Ah, here it is. This is it, isn't it? Is it? I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. There we go. That was hard to see. You're right. You were correct. All right. I can't go in. Ah, here it is. Take it. National silver, sure. 400 Russian, nice. I'll take those. Hunting sword, sure. Another odd die. Hey, another odd die. That's 6. Or 5, or whatever. That's maxed out. That's all of the odd dice, I think. I think I now have all of the odd dice. Okay. Yeah, let's just go back to the monastery. Yeah. Yeah. Wait till the next midnight. That's too late. I'm at the point where wealth is no longer anything even remotely like a concern. Because I also have just that passive income stream from Pribyslavitz, which is a pretty significant income stream, really. So, yeah, it's fine. I'm not particularly concerned. Honestly, I pretty much got all the wealth I could ever possibly need in this game. Basically, when I actually park my horse in here. How about that? Oh, wrong button. Good lord. Oh, there's more than 6 odd dice. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought there was just the 6. I'm not supposed to be here. Nothing of use anyway. Just, ouch. Anyway. I'm also, I have to say as well, I think my gear is okay. I think my gear is pretty good. I'm also to the point where I have, I have some gear that is, genuinely, like, slightly worse than what I could be using, just because a lot of it is very cool. Oh, St. George's sword. North of Talmberg. Okay, that's tempting. Purely for the mythology. Tell me where. Also, does it look like I've found it, as far as, like, interesting sites go? Does it look like I may have found it, perhaps? If not, after I finish this part, I will probably go and find that, because that is mightily tempting. But I currently have the Magdeburg sword, which is nice. I love the design of this thing, and it's just gorgeous. With that, like, turquoise in the pommel. I'm a fan of turquoise. As you can see, I've got a nice great-grandfather's turquoise ring that I've basically worn to the point where I can't take it off, that kind of thing. But, like... It's nice, but that's sad and pathetic. Stinger is very good. But yeah, St. George's sword, that is particularly tempting. Alright, I'm gonna just wait. Not Talmberg? Not Talmberg. You mean Ledechko? Oh. Let me recheck my map. I found a lot of the stuff that's right around here. Does it look like I may have found it around here? Like up in this area? It's north of town on the hill. So up here, this area. Camp, maybe? Because isn't this like where that Oh no, I'm thinking of maybe? Oh no, I'm thinking of over here. This is where the this is where the catching the birds quest was early on. So like right up here. Light forest, sloped ground, small fence, and a flower garden. Interesting. I'll do that after I do this. I will do that after I do this. For sure. The St. George's sword, that's I assume you have the 77 bow. No, I've been using the U longbow. Yeah, 77. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna wait here.
Are you quite well?
Yes, thank you. Let's wait for 9 hours. I'm just gonna sit here for 9 hours, if you'll excuse me. Between the two camps, Riki was in that one. Oh, okay. Oh, I see which. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know where you're talking about. So, okay, that should be findable. Like I said, I will do that after I'm finished with this. West of Ledechko. All right. That's tempting. Certainly tempting. I could have waited a little longer, but it's fine. Perfectly fine. Incidentally, if you haven't seen my my video series on Anselm's philosophical dialogues, I highly recommend the whole playlist. The first chapter, the first book, what I cover on truth, I just do as an ordinary lecture format. But then the other two I have as pre-recorded classroom lectures. So what I'll do is I'll try and find the relevant video that has the section that's on chapter 8, and I'll put that section of it in the description down below after the stream is over. And that is the section. The chapter 8 was the part that I was reading from, the part about that it is impossible to compel free choice. that's sort of metaphysically impossible. I'll put the relevant section of that playlist down in the description. I really highly recommend that sort of whole playlist. That whole set of discussions was fantastic mostly because the book is fantastic. Not really through any fault of mine. It's a good classroom discussion, but it's classroom discussion just like any other. It's just that the material is just top notch. Some of my absolute favorite philosophical writing in history. Okay, I am well out of the way this time. So unless Mutt is in the way, I think I'll be okay. I think this time I'll catch him. Catch him in the act. Wait. Sonic says there's also a crazy treasure northeast of Ledechko. Unique cavalry armor. A giant's bird's nest. Stuff from Proslavitz is better anyway. Interesting. Giant bird's nest. So there's a bunch more. There's one video which covers On Truth. Covers most of On Truth. It's a brief overview of the first dialogue. Then there is, I think it's a 4-part series. I think it's 4 parts, but it might be 6. I'm trying to remember exactly. It's a several-part series on the second dialogue on freedom of choice. And then there's another, I think it's 3 or 4-part series on the third dialogue on the fall of the devil. Yeah, it's too early for now. I'm just and those were from different semesters, so different classes, different settings, different backgrounds. One's inside, one's outside, whole shebang. But it's it's going over them sort of one dialogue at a time because there's 3. Hence, the book I keep waving at you is titled 3 Philosophical Dialogues, and then the titles On Truth, On Freedom of Choice, On the Fall of the Devil are the 3 dialogues, and I recorded them all separately. So they are it's each they're all in one playlist. So if you just watch the playlist all the way through, then you've seen all of it. But it's much more than just the 4. There may have only been the 4 for On Freedom of Choice. Not sure about that. Anyway, waiting around. Yeah. All right. So while I'm waiting, a couple things as well. First of all, thinking about what to do next, what to play next after we're done with Kingdom Come and after we're done with Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm leaning towards Hogwarts Legacy and Jedi Fallen Order, respectively. But I'm open to other possibilities. I still want to keep it roughly historical and/or fantasy for one, and then roughly sci-fi for the other. But like I said, I'm open to some possibilities. I listed some in the Discord, some games that I've got on hand, things that I might do. Those are some of the favorites. Okay. Yeah, I really like that lecture, both of those lecture series. I think those are great. Definitely worth watching just because of the content. I will say the production quality on the Freedom of Choice ones was kind of mediocre. Just because it was very early on. I didn't even use a tripod. I basically just kind of leaned my phone against my coffee cup and hoped for the best. And it cut out partway through, that sort of thing. But I do what I could. Yeah, so I'm wondering about what I should do next. I'm leaning towards Hogwarts Legacy for Wednesdays. I've been vaguely thinking about starting up streaming on Kick rather than on YouTube. Or multi-streaming. I wonder if I'm not sure if I could multi-stream to Kick and YouTube. There might be problems with that, but I'd be open to the possibility. I've been hearing really good things about it. Well, it's after midnight. Only interested in watching games you already know. Well, if you got suggestions, especially if there's something that I've already got, something that's in, like, I put that list in the Discord server a while ago of some games I have that I've been thinking about playing. But if you've got a better suggestion, if there's something that you'd definitely rather see, I'm certainly open to input from regular viewers. So asking if that's strange, no, that actually makes perfect sense to me. Like I wouldn't want to. So the only streams that I watch are games that I either have played because I'm already familiar with them. Oh, could have sworn I just heard somebody. So games I either have played, so I'm already familiar with them, or games that I won't be playing, and I'm just going to watch the stream instead of playing them. And there are some games like that. There are plenty of games like that, actually. There are some games that I'm probably not going to play. And so I'm perfectly fine. There he is. Hey, Pekar. How you doing?
Halt! What are you doing here?
Quiet, for God's sake. You'll wake the whole monastery.
Silence.
Yeah?
For God's sake, I caught you in the middle of an assassination attempt.
Assassination? What are you on about?
You told me to my face you were here purely for business, that Master Keezer had no reason to fear you, and then I catch you sneaking up to his door.
Keezer? He's living here in the monastery?
What did you think you were sneaking up onto? What
Right
the
here in his
hell?
house. What's your business here?
It's all a terrible mistake. I've a long-standing arrangement with the custodian here, Sir Sebastian von Berg.
I think I got it.
I supply him with salt and spices. And I've come to realise how he's been cheating me repeatedly. The dispute's been running for a while and still has legs. So I wanted my money back, that's all. I've no quarrel with Conrad.
God.
All right.
Okay.
I suppose I'll have to take your word for it. But stop creeping around here at night and trying to break into the house. Conrad is scared half to death and I need him in his right mind.
Very well. That does sound like Conrad. I'll think up some other plan. May the Lord watch over you.
And he's still breaking in? Oh, okay. No, you're done. All right, great. You've finished breaking in. Excellent. I'm glad you've had quite enough of that. Good Lord. Actually, I don't need my horse. What am I doing? I'm just gonna go. Hell with this. I'm just gonna wait till morning. This is ridiculous. Oh gosh. All right. Anyway, with the perks I have, I barely need to sleep anyway, so it's whatever. I barely need to eat either. I can get away with pretty much eating and sleeping every 3 or 4 days. Henry is like a machine. Though I will say, my old martial arts instructor from back in high school, I used to do kung fu for quite a few years. My old martial arts instructor, he was one hell of an impressive person. He would regularly sleep for 4 hours a day. He would sleep 4 hours a night. Then he would get up at like 5 in the morning, drive down to the causeway, which was about, I think, 7 miles long, run all the way down and all the way back in a couple hours, then go drive to the Kung Fu studio, open it, and then train all day after running 14 miles.
Well, did you find anyone?
Unbelievably impressive person. And he was in his like mid-50s at the time, still doing this. See, you're enjoying it because you know what's going to happen. I'm freshly experiencing it. Yeah, I actually I really like that. But like I said, the other reason why I like to watch streams of games is to see to see the story of a game, and to see the experience of it that I'm probably not actually gonna play myself. Like the entire, like everything from, what's the name of the studio? Whoever the like Until Dawn and the Dark Pictures saga and the werewolf one. Those, like I'm never gonna play those. First of all, because they're PlayStation exclusives, and I'm not a PlayStation guy. And second of all, because they're walking simulators mostly, and they're there for the story. They're there for the choices and the story and stuff. So you get basically you get a lot of it out of just watching it. And I've watched a few different playthroughs of each of them. Until Dawn, the Dark Pictures anthology. Rick, what is the summer camp werewolves one? I actually really like that. It was a cool story. The Quarry. That's it. The Quarry, which is a dumb name for a game like that, but whatever. The Quarry. It's really good. It's neat. It's a great little story. Again, gameplay is nothing to write home about because it's a walking simulator, and the whole thing is just what choices do you make, that sort of thing. But so I'm probably, like I said, I'm probably never going to play any of them. But I like watching the streams because I like to see what different people choose, how they make their choices, and then what the consequences are. And then I actually just I'm intrigued by the story of them. Those sorts of games, great. I'm probably never going to play them, so I'm perfectly fine watching streams of them. But if it's something that I'm going to play, I'm not going to spoil it for myself. No. I'll play it myself when I get around to it. So, like I didn't watch any streams of Hogwarts Legacy until I'd already completed most of the game. Then I started watching. Then I watched a few streamers. The problem was though that I got it late. I got it after the streaming bubble had already popped, so I didn't get to it. Similarly, I've been watching a couple of streams of the new Legend of Zelda, just because I don't have a Switch, and so if I do actually wind up playing it, playing either Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, it'll be a while. It'll be quite a while. So I'm okay watching it this far in advance. Oh yeah, that's true too. You get the perk on hardcore mode. Oh, interesting. If any game is good enough to be philosophy, I want to play it myself. That's like I was. I think I mentioned this in. I don't know if this was you because I don't know what your real name is. I assume it wasn't, but you never know. On Facebook, somebody else was asking me about this, but somebody was talking about playing Cyberpunk 2077. It's not really my. It's not really my aesthetic. I don't really like the cyberpunk genre or the setting or that sort of thing. Um, but I brought up my Nier Automata series, which I think was pretty good because it's a very good game. The gameplay is great, and the philosophical themes of it are very very traditional sci-fi. Um, but then there's an odd twist on it because it's a very Japanese game, a very Japanese game. But it's a very Japanese take on sort of historical Western philosophy, which is very cool. It's a weird. It was very cool, particularly looking at things that I'm very familiar with from a sort of outside perspective, right? Because that's actually something that you can look at with because I mean Japanese culture and Japanese philosophically minded people in Japan are fascinated by Western philosophy, by historical Western philosophy, by Christianity, by all of the Western philosophical traditions. But in a very similar way to how a lot of Westerners are obsessed with Japan and are kind of weebs, right? There's a similarity there. There's a sort of inverse parallelism where they're fascinated by our thought, the history of our thought. Oh, that was you. Okay. Okay, cool. Um, but yeah, that was it's interesting to see what they have to think about our stuff because it's not what we usually think is significant about our stuff. Like one of the things I brought out, there's a character named, a lot of the characters are named after historical Western philosophers. Pascal being one of them. So named after Blaise Pascal. You know, I know a fair bit about yeah. And so it's weird. It was weird to me at the time that so we think of Pascal's wager. We think of pragmatism. We think of his mathematical theories. But what they draw their attention to is his pacifism, his anti-polit, and his sort of his arguments against realpolitik, right? Which is very different. It's definitely there. Like I've read the Pensée, his major philosophical work, and it's definitely there. He definitely talks against sort of realpolitik, geopolitical infighting, and things like that. It's really fascinating. It's really cool. But I never would have thought that would be the takeaway from reading Pascal. Most people take his philosophy of religion or his pragmatic epistemology or things like that. It's really interesting to me to see what a sort of outsider will see in things that I'm usually very familiar with. Oh yeah, so you're relatively familiar with Japanese thought. I'm a little bit familiar with sort of Eastern philosophy. Most of what I'm familiar with is ancient Chinese, and a lot of that is again because of my background in Kung Fu. I've studied some Taoism. I've studied some Confucianism, mostly Taoism though. And I do find a lot of parallels to a lot of interesting parallels to Western thought, and a lot of divergences, and a lot to take away from it. I don't know too much about Zen. Know all that much about Zen Buddhism. Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus. That is one that I actually haven't played Shadow of the Colossus, but it is pretty actiony. I don't know how much philosophy I could get out of it. I know there are some serious philosophical elements to it, but I think it's pretty much loaded in. From what I know about it, it's pretty much loaded into the end of the game, and up until then, it's very atmospheric and actiony. It's sort of a balance between the two, and so I don't know how much I could get out of it throughout Nintendo games. The new Zelda game is supposed to be amazing. That is true. I don't know though. It feels like too much of a departure from the formula for me. The building element of it and the just sort of open world exploration element of it, the same really applies as far as I can tell to the previous one. To what was it called? Breath of the Wild. Because I didn't play that one either yet. I don't have Switch. That said, I do have emulated. I have them on my own systems, but I've done ROMs from some of the older Zelda games. Like I got Wind Waker on here. I got Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time. Those are all great. And there might be some interesting things in there. I may do a video or so on one of the things in Ocarina of Time. Maybe that might be an independent video. We'll see. If it is, it'll be coming eventually. I've also been thinking this would be more of a Monday thing rather than a Thursday thing or a Wednesday thing. For my sort of sci-fi night, I've been thinking about the Metroid Prime trilogy, which was on GameCube, and Wii. The trouble with that is mostly logistical. Well, first of all, the philosophical elements of the series are sort of spread out, and they are mostly in codexy type stuff. So I don't know if I get too much out of it. It is a little bit of an action puzzle game. So, I mean, it's a Metroid, so of course it is. So I don't know how much I really get out of it. Maybe. Might be worth doing. There is some really, really cool philosophical stuff, especially in the third game, in Corruption. It's excellent game. The trouble with that one, though, more than anything, is that I have it on the Wii. I physically have it. But I don't have a capture card. And I have it on I have a ROM for it for the PC. but I don't know if I can properly connect a Wii remote to it. And the controls for that game are perfectly optimized for Wii remote because the aiming for it is, I've talked about this before, is phenomenal. It is better than mouse and keyboard. The actual, like, the gunplay, so to speak. I know it's an arm cannon, but whatever, the gunplay for it is incredible. With a Wii remote nunchuck. Not, but I wouldn't want to do it at all with a controller. It'd be horrible. So, I don't know. Dominic says, I'm a Christian pacifist, but I'm not sure I'm as pacifist as I once was. I haven't broken pacifism since I decided on it in 2009, but more and more I think I might have to come to violence in defense of myself or others someday. I mean, so I've always taken, as far as pacifism goes, I've always taken it as a sort of individual calling. That some people, I mean, monks, for example, are called to complete nonviolence, to complete pacifism. And that is a wonderful, beautiful calling that some people have, but it's certainly not for everyone. And I don't think it is something that everyone could reasonably adopt. Castlevania SOTN. Which one's SOTN? I don't know if I've actually... Wait. I know I've played one Castlevania game. But not even all the way through. I forget which one. Yeah, Nintendo is really tough. It's really tough to stream, especially... And I mean, I know that Nintendo doesn't like streamers. So it might even be harder still. I don't know. Like I said though, I have an emulator that I've emulated a lot of my old games on to play on PC using this thingy instead of a GameCube controller. But it's Dolphin, so it's GameCube and Wii. But it's games that you can use a gamepad for. I don't have a Wii remote set up for it for the PC. I don't know if I even could. I need to do something to emulate a sensor bar or something ridiculous like that. That'd be a pain in the ass. I don't know. May or may not work. It'd be cool. It'd be cool if I could figure it out. Anyway, though.
I did.
And?
You needn't fear. I kept watch the whole night and nothing happened. A few folk passed by, but nobody dangerous.
And what about Pekka? Are you saying he has no malicious intentions?
None. He's just doing some trade with the custodian. That's what brought him to where you were.
Well, if you're sure. But I'd still rather lie low for a while.
Come to Talmberg. You'll be surrounded by a whole garrison there.
Yes. Yes, I suppose that does make sense. Thank you, Henry. I'm in your debt. We'll meet at Talmberg.
Excellent. Yeah, pacifist runs on games are hard. It depends. Actually, it really depends. Some games are actually designed for it, are designed to work well, playing pacifistically. But there are also some games that it's absolutely not designed for at all, and so it's nearly impossible. And there are some games that it is straight up impossible because there are specific objectives where you have to kill people, fight things. But the ones where it is possible, potentially very interesting. Now, which one is SOTN? I'm trying to sure offhand. I've never been all that big into Castlevania. Like I said, I've only really played one of them. And even that, I forget which one, and it was a long time ago. I don't even think I finished it. Let me get a snack. Excuse me. Management. Have a Mega Man-esque experience. Yeah, that I mean, that does track with what I know of Castlevania, just because Castlevania is I mean, there's a whole genre of Metroidvania based on the two of them. The sort of side-scroller puzzle action puzzle adventure games. Oh, whoops. Okay. I'm gonna go try and find that sword, so... Go ahead and let me know if you can help find it. You told me the geographical features. Symphony of the Night, that's right. Okay, yeah. So it's gotta be around here somewhere. Symphony of the Night. Is that the one I played part of? I'm trying to remember if it was or not. What system is it for? I think I played one that was for... Interesting. It was one that was for GameCube? That's a horse. Interesting. Light forest, fence with wildflowers. Oh wait, there's a man. A dead man. Excuse me, Come on. Excuse me. Okay, well. Very well. I mean, I could just also have Mutt Seek around here. More west. More west, huh? Okay. Path. It was on it was on PlayStation 1. Oh, okay. Let's see. Seek.
Let's see what you can sniff out here.
See if you can find it. Go get it. Go get it. Good boy. Get it. The later versions may have improved on it. Okay. What you got there, bud? What am I doing? Oh, is it on the other side of the path? Like down here? I have a feeling it's on the other side of the path. Just a hunch. Maybe I'm wrong. 45-degree hill, light forest. This is pretty light. This might be it. Right around here. Ah, fence. I found a fence. Found a garden. Aha, I found a chest. There it is. Is this it? This is it, right? Oh, jeez. There we go. Awesome. Gutenberg chorus. Quirus. Recipe for moonshine. Oh, okay. That was a knife. Oh, nice. St. George's sword. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. Damage is mine. Unpopular die. Unpopular die. I assume that's a bad one. Let me see. St. George's sword. Higher, way higher piercing. Ooh, and slashing. Wow, that is just strictly better. Nice. Nice. Awesome. I assume this is the right place. Because that is St. George's sword, after all. Oh, hello, teleport. All right, so that's all set. Let's go back to Helmberg. Let them know we got the ale from Andrew. That'll do. I kind of want to test out this new sword in combat. But whatever, maybe not. Okay, I figured that was it. Yeah, don't worry about the lag. I don't know if it's... I assume you were just slightly behind on it, and it's not my problem. Never know, though.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Stinger is very good sword and board. Usually I use the Stinger at night.
Yeah.
So I can go sword and torch. And I use whatever my longsword is. It has been the Matchword sword, but I guess I'll be switching to St. George's for longsword. Yeah, Stinger's very good. Very, very good. Okay. Excuse me. Okay.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
I've arranged some beer for you from the local tavern.
You're a proper treasure, you are. I'm gonna put a word in about how well you look after us. Like your own kith and kin. God be with you.
Cheers. Helmberger! Alright, that's it. Now, where do I meet Master Fafar? Up there. That's where that is. Interesting. Okay. Let's go do that. Still got about 40 minutes. I'm assuming we're not going to finish tonight. I'd like to leave some for next week. We'll see how much. See how much we got left. We'll see. No, I don't have Rumble. I'm not on there. I could. I'm not sure why there would be so much lag. Let me check my settings really quick. No, I'm on low latency.
Goes in sight. You want to strike the gate, do you?
True. We don't want to do more damage than necessary.
I quite understand. Sir Toth is holed up there, is he?
Just so, Master Conrad. I hear you have some accounts to settle with him.
Ah, not entirely. I've done with him. Sigismund trusted him more than me in his campaign against the Ottomans, and we all know how that ended up.
How did it end up?
Badly, my lord. The flower of French knighthood was slain there. Sigismund fled for his life, and I did too, I must confess.
Be assured we shall not make the same mistake here. We do not intend to starve them into submission, but to break down the gate.
I am at your service, my lords. We will build the
Yeah, I got through the
trebuchet
Fritz and
quickly.
Matthews one.
It will be
The Fritz and
ready in
Matthew
a
quest.
matter of days. And I can supply, for example, Roquetta to sweep the foe from the battlements.
Roquetta? I do not believe I've heard of such a term.
I'm not familiar with it either.
Roquetta are missiles filled with black powder with a touch hole at the bottom to ignite it. They shoot forward, something like a hand cannon, but without rocks. The rocket is the missile.
I see. But we don't have black powder in these parts. Nor cannon.
Indeed. It should have occurred to me. But I am very fond of Roquetta, and I always think what Alexander the Great might have accomplished with them.
Fascinating.
I understand. We find ourselves in a conventional situation that demands a conventional solution.
I'm still hoping that Toth will see sense and parley with us.
He may well do so, especially when we set up the trebuchet on his doorstep.
Trebuchet is a little old-fashioned for early, what, 15th century? This is a little old-fashioned. Oh yeah, right near that giant train wreck in Alliston, Ohio.
I reckon they should have put more effort into opening the
That's
gate
got to be a fun
instead
one.
of going looking for the hostages.
Maybe. We'll have to breach it though, anyway. But then, they could have got them out.
Aye, but
The Lord be praised.
I definitely
What
have to look
brings
at
you
it.
to me?
I love medieval architectural designs and all that sort of thing. Very, very cool, all of it. What is that guy doing, taking out arrows? What the heck?
I came to an agreement with Conrad.
Kill Pekar, what?
He's already here. You wouldn't believe how clever that fellow is. Now we really will build.
Who killed Pekar?
That I guarantee you.
Just one thing. If he should send you somewhere and tell you to give some password about a fox or some such, well, you should take it with a grain of salt.
Password? Fox? Alright. I'll bear it in mind.
Glad I could be of service.
I'm truly grateful to you. And the men will be too when the assault starts. Fine work. You've certainly...
Okay, hold on, there's an alarm.
But go and have a look in my...
Thank you.
Goodbye.
There's... Alarm? What? What the heck just happened? What was that? 1403 trebuchet is old-fashioned. I mean, old-fashioned sort of. The trebuchet had been around in common use for 200 or 300 years at this point. When was Warwolf? Because that was sort of the pinnacle of trebuchet design. Let me actually look this up. It was only slightly after this. Trebuchet. Siege of Stirling Castle. Oh no, that was that was 1357. Yeah, so the greatest of trebuchets was 1357. That was the huge, massive one. Yeah, I completely missed it. Where's his dead body? Oh, here he is. What in the world? take his money and stuff, I guess. Hell. Lockpicks. Oh no, I'm over. How am I encumbered? This crap. Oh, it's from all that armor I've been picking up. That's why. Okay, well, I'm gonna go somewhere and sell off all my stuff. I'll probably go to Bratislava for that. You just showed up and tried to murder. Wow. Yeah, there were trebuchets. There were trebuchets in the. They were very, very common in the 1200s. They were sort of the primary siege weapon by the mid 1200s. 1357 was when Warwolf was constructed. Warwolf was the largest trebuchet ever built. It was constructed by the King of England for the Wars of Scottish Independence, and it kind of it was built. It was used in the Wars of Scottish Independence. Let me put it that way. The building of it was actually quite complicated. There was a lot to it. He was lying. Oh, well, that figures. Well, whatever. He got killed. Anyway. It's fine. All's well that ends well, right? Anyway. Yeah, it was massive. The projectiles were close to a ton. It was designed to lay siege to castle walls rather than gates and such. But by that time, even by then,
how's it going?
I could reload, but it's fine. I succeeded at the quest. Father.
Take care.
Why am I? One thing.
I'll be with you.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't kill him. Somebody else killed him instead of me killing him. Yeah, it's fine. Wait a minute. Let me pull out this to sell. Those to sell. Okay.
Good luck then.
Okay. Sell the rest of my stuff at the general store. No, they're precisely what we think of as trebuchets. Big counterweight catapults. It's a big rotating arm that flings a large stone projectile using a sort of a whip mechanism that flings, looses, and then catapults, with a counterweight on the other end, so that swings it down on an axis. No, it's exactly what we think of as trebuchets. That they were very, very common throughout the High Middle Ages,
God's
starting
blessings.
in the.
What can I do for you?
Gosh, when were they invented? I'm not actually quite sure when they were invented, so don't quote me on this. I think the first trebuchets started appearing in the. I want to say maybe even as early as the 10th century, like the 900s. It might not have been quite that early, but it was very close. Trebuchets have been around for a very long time. And by this point, so by the 15th century, or very early 15th century, cannons were actually quite common because cannons were used throughout the later Crusades. The gunpowder cannons were actually quite common. Not that common in mainland Europe, to be fair, but they were actually quite common in the Crusades. That. Watch him sneak in camp. Damn. Okay. That's good enough. Forgot. I need to read that book. Where'd it go? Book on maintenance. I'm just gonna stand here for 4 hours and read, and then I'm gonna sell you the book. Such a weirdo. I think I've done all the civic quests. I'm gonna double check though. I think I'm all done. I think I've done all of them. I mean, I thought I had done all of the civic quests before, and then I come back and there's another one. So maybe I didn't. I don't know. I have rebuilt the town completely, and I think I've done all the judgment ones. So, I think I'm all caught up. But yeah, trebuchets by this point we're still in, no, to be fair, they're still in common use because they're much easier to build than a cannon, particularly with gunpowder. Gunpowder is not exactly easy to make. I mean, it's not quite true. It's not. So gunpowder is not particularly easy to make, mostly due to getting the ratios right and getting everything right that you need in order to make it. Sulfur in the right purity. It's what sulfur, charcoal, and it's not lime. Forget. There are 3 major ingredients in black powder. But getting the mixture right, getting it to the right consistency, without, blowing yourself up or anything. What's with this? Interesting. I'm gonna shoot it. Oop. Excuse me. I'm shooting at my ceiling. Oh, I'm shooting at my roof. Okay. Don't worry about it. I'm just shooting my roof. It's no big deal. I don't know why there's a giant nest up there. It's a bit strange. I'm disturbed. A little disturbed. Weird. Anyway. Yeah, I figured there was one every day, and I think I did all of them. The judgments. I think I did all of them, because there's not another one.
I'm in the same boat.
You can imagine. Even more when I told her Tonda will take everything she makes.
Yeah, that's it.
Great. A bit of extra coin never.
Yeah, I think I'm all done. I think what happened was they were all done and then once I finished building everything, another one showed up, or something like that. That's what I think happened. I could be wrong, though. Whoever designed this, I know who designed this. This layout here is just atrocious. I hate it. Terrible layout. I have my complaints, Master Builder. Right? What? Where's the money chest? Upstairs? Oh. That's not it. Not it either. Trying to find the chest with all the funds in it. My, daily income. Not it either. world? Oops. Oh, is it this? Ah, 30. My God. Okay. Yeah, so I have over 100. I have over 100,000 Russian on me. You would think that the weight would be a problem, but whatever, it's fine. Anyway. On which note, on the note of money weighing a good bit, it's funny that that in particular is it's something worth noting that so I think I've talked about this before on the stream, maybe, but that in Dungeons and Dragons, in 5th edition at least, the official weight for a coin or a gold piece or a copper piece or a silver piece or a platinum piece for a coin is 1/10 of a pound. Or yeah. No. I think, no, it's 1/20th, I think. Oh, I know. I'd have millions if I know I could exploit things, but I haven't really done exploits. It's fine. Not that concerned. But the funny thing about the encumbrance things, the thing I've noticed about it. No, I can't sleep any longer. Yeah, it could be a big logistics nightmare. I don't like that part. I don't enjoy that part too much. I'm just gonna wait until like nighttime, and then I'm gonna sleep overnight. How about that? Anyway, though, yeah, it's I think it's 20 coins is a pound or something like that. It's divisible by 10. I'm pretty sure it's 20. And why that's particularly interesting is because that means that a coin weighs 1/20th of a pound. I know I just kind of said that, but now I'm making it very explicit. And the reason I'm making it very explicit is because a coin should be an ounce, which is a 1/16th of a pound. What this means is, like, in-game, in-universe explanatory reasons, what this functionally means is that coins are smaller than they should be. That coins are, functionally speaking, clipped. What that actually like winds up meaning is that there has been substantial something equivalent to monetary inflation in any D&D setting that uses the standard coin weight system. Interesting. So the minters, whoever those are, presumably like, rulers, have just gradually shrunk the official size of coins until they are a solid, 25% smaller than they should be, or 25% less massive in terms of their overall mass than they should be. So that either means cutting them with lighter metals, or it means like making them physically smaller. An interesting takeaway from what seems to be a very simple fact of the weight of coins in game. Anyway, though, yeah, if I didn't usually run games in like recognized official settings where there are specific coinages, I would probably more often alter the coin values. For example, let's go back to Tomberg. Start a business of hauling the treasure after you defeat a dungeon. Okay, so that actually used to be a major part of D&D. Before I get into the point of like coinage values and why I want to change that, that actually used to be a major component of the gameplay of Dungeons and Dragons. Back in AD&D, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, in the good old days, the old Grognard era, like the Gygax era of D&D. Experience was based off of how much treasure you bring home. And so the challenge of D&D was not just go kill something. It was go kill something and bring back the treasure. And if you can't bring back the treasure, then you haven't done the task. Right? So this is, to me, a really interesting... right, so what I mean is, the problem was not merely tactical, but it was also logistical. Right? There was an actual logistical component of playing D&D, and it was built right into the game mechanics. That the whole point, or a large part of the point of Dungeons and Dragons, was to loot, and then figure out a way of getting your loot back to somewhere you could sell it. And guess what? That's hard. That's actually quite hard to do. Right? Putting that into context, like if a gold coin weighs an ounce, if you're coming back with thousands of gold, you're gonna have to come up with a way of transporting hundreds of pounds of stuff. And have the barbarian carry it is not always a good option. Mutt, why are you freaking the heck out? Alright, so I just have to wait until the trebuchet is done. Where are they building it? Because I see no building. And how long do I have to wait? Nothing new. Wait until the trebuchet is finished. I don't think I can do that anymore, can I? Now we're close to finishing a trebuchet. Why? Don't I just have to wait around until it's done? I'm gonna go visit Teresa. At least 3 in-game days. Okay, well, great. I'm gonna go ride halfway across the kingdom and go visit Teresa. Why not? Because I only have about 15 minutes left of the stream tonight, so I could just like functionally just wait. Get extra quests from Robart, huh? All right, well maybe I'll come back afterwards. We'll see then. I didn't see any. I didn't see any little exclamation points, but yeah, I'll go and check. Yeah, there are some old quests I can wrap up, most of which I'm done with already, really. There's a lot of quests that I'm finished with. I honestly did most of the side content early. Basically as soon as it was available. And a lot of the tasks, the sort of random hunting tasks and things like that, a lot of that stuff I just did off stream. Gosh, I probably put 10 or 12 hours into this game off stream. Just wandering around, equipping myself, hunting, buying and selling, stealing, that kind of thing. And Peshek's got a quest.
Hey, lad! Don't you want a little wager on the Ratte tourney?
14 game days. Jeez. Do you want to talk to me?
I'm glad to see you.
Oh, good.
I hear you're able to...
Certainly.
I want to...
All right.
Isn't that quite... What do you say?
It'll take me.
Okay, fine. I have too much gold, though it's fine.
Agreed. Take care.
Ah, new perk in lockpicking. Excellent. Ah, it's maxed out. Even more excellent. Easier when drunk now. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I'll do that. My lockpick almost never breaks, but it has happened. Rare, but it occurs.
I've got something for you. I hope you won't need them, but just in case.
Thank you.
Hey, lad. Don't you want a little wager on the ratte tourney?
Wouldn't you like to take a stroll somewhere?
I'd love to.
Luck of the Drunk, the most important early game perk? Oh, whoops. I never did too much drinking, honestly. You need it before you leave Scallots. That makes sense. Honestly, that makes a lot of sense. Whoops. Oh well. My bad. I have been playing this game so far from optimized. It's not even funny. Kiss the hound skull, woman. Really should have taken the helmet off. Yeah. I apparently goofed that. I should have gotten that perk way early on, but whatever, it's fine. I made it through. Through sheer stick-to-itiveness, I suppose. Oh gosh. Okay, let's see.
The time passes so quickly with you, Henry. Come and see me again sometime.
Luck of the Drunk and 6 lockpicking. You can open any lock before you leave Scallots. Oh, man. That would have been handy. Yeah, this one is one that just didn't trigger properly for me. The what's his name? The other refugee from Scouts. Is it Thomas or something? Anyway, he's supposed to be by the stockades, and he's just not there. He's just not giving me a quest. So, oh well. Let's see. Anything else? I think that's it. I'm gonna head back to Tomberg. I'm gonna see about Robarn. Hard locks, no problem. I'm drunk. Oh man, I will say, like, when I tried to use I still can't do locks on 2 control sticks. Still can't do it. Horrible. So I pretty much exclusively do a mouse and keyboard. I just move my hands away from the controller over to my mouse and keyboard. If you haven't noticed me doing that, it's unbelievably easier. It's basically impossible using 2 sticks, and it's incredibly easy with mouse and keyboard. Yeah, I've done a bunch of quests for him, but then he just sort of disappeared. Snare. Oh my.
Fucking come on then!
Okay.
Oh, fuck, sorry.
What's the matter?
No more fooling around.
Done. What?
Gone weaker than he.
I didn't even see you there. Oh well. I love how he gets a sneak attack on me from behind, and I'm just like, huh? What? Oh, Lord. Alright. What's this? Ah! Meant that. Because I want this. A reforged scythe. Cool. I like it. Oh well. Whatever. Nothing I need. Nothing I need now. A few monies. Just a few monies. I went around for a while just looting everyone's god-awful bladed weapons. just so I could sharpen them. Sharpen them for the repair experience until I maxed out repair, and then I kind of stopped doing that. Yeah, I'm just gonna write it. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually noticed that fast travel you actually encounter, encounters, whereas if you're just riding, you very seldom do.
Yeah.
What was that? Was something on the tree? No, just a knot, I guess. Okay. There's that guy. Turned away from me. It's suspicious. Oh well, whatever. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, 100 grosh in a pound. That's about my. That's about my limit too. Oh, how'd I do in the Talmberg race? I think it took me a few tries, but I think I won it, if I remember right. Like it took a few tries. I kind of screwed it up a couple of times at first, but I did eventually win.
Yeah.
Mostly because I had a pretty good horse and great equipment. Hey there. Robard. Or Barnard. Oh, that's Bernard. Okay. Can I talk to you? Can I talk to you? Can I talk to you? Sir Hanish, can I talk to you?
with you, Henry.
Can I talk to you guys? I want to talk to you guys. Can I chat with you? Where are you riding? Follow the leader, and then at the last leg instead of around. Go up the hill instead of around the castle. I think I did something like that. I wound up doing something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't talk to them while we're both riding. Okay. That's fine. Ah, Nicodemus.
So, your hanker is gone.
Forgot I
Yes,
could talk to him about this.
sadly. I'll miss her. But on the other hand, I don't think what awaits her is anything bad. The contemplative life is free of many everyday hardships and woes, and her healing skills will find application elsewhere. You advised
good.
her well, Henry. The fact that it all ended well is largely to your credit. It could easily have taken a very ugly turn, considering the gravity of the charges against her.
Do you still think the Virgin Mary's visitations were real?
Who can say? Was she really deceived by Lucifer, as the Inquisitor said? I don't think so. I think her visions came from Our Lady, but I suppose we'll never know for sure, and your hanker will have plenty of time in the convent to reflect on her visions.
Would you teach me more?
Certainly.
I want to achieve.
You can't become...
Okay, never mind.
Well.
I don't think he has any skill books. Ah, oh, the Godwin.
Good day to you.
Never mind. Yeah, I did all the Fritz and Matthew ones. Alright, sorry. I didn't mean to. Unhorse. No, not that. Sir Hans is here, apparently. And, Barnard is just not leaving his horse.
Well, if it isn't the world-renowned victor of the rat-eye tourney, Henry of Skalitz.
Yes, that is me.
What do you think of Master Keezer?
I've already asked him to stay on here when this is over. His ideas are incredible, even that trebuchet. I can't wait to launch it.
Sounds like you're sorry not to be the siege master.
Who knows? I may still get a chance. See you later.
That'd be cool. A good way of you making use of yourself. Becoming an engineer.
Even so, it seems a bit peculiar to me.
Man, I missed the first part of that conversation. The Divish.
The Lord be praised. What brings you to me?
How do you like Master Keezer, Sir Divish?
How do I like him? As if it's not enough to hurl giant boulders at my castle, he wants to throw kegs of gunpowder.
I understand, but he has to do something.
Well,
those boulders could hit my wife. And if they don't get her, the gunpowder could burn her to death along with Sir Radzig.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry. I know how you feel. I feel much the same. When we're done, what state will my castle be in? What will I do if the worst happens? Enough of that. Better to spend my time in prayer than worry.
Amen.
I've arranged for a priest to come. He promised to take care of the people around here.
Thank you, Henry. Lifting the spirit can help us all.
I got hold of a Sawbones to take care of our wounded.
Thank you. Most of them have already lost their homes. Their lives are all they have left.
Let me end the Fritz and Matthew
Goodbye.
quest. Gosh, what was it? I basically eventually told him to piss off. Like, no, we weren't going to rob basically rob innocent caravans and such. I don't know if that counts as finishing it though. Does it? No, they did not end up in Privoslavets. Captain, please. Okay. Alright, let's go to the other camp then. Seeing as Bernard is just sort of sitting about. Is there more I can do for Fritz and Matthew?
Yeah.
Here, let me look at my quest log. Done. When was it? Begins the prey. The I didn't finish. Okay, you have to kind of treat each other, treat each character as their own ends. Interesting. Okay. Is it? Oh right, that. It's under. It's under side quest, right? Rope. Give them lots of extra clearance. Okay, interesting. Chez la femme. Trying to figure out which quest it was, and if I finished it or not. Be under here. That one I ignored because it's I don't want to actually do that. Pointless revenge. I can't find 2 of the pieces of Queen Sheba's sword. Can't find them. I don't know where. I don't know which ones I have and which ones I don't. That's annoying. But I assume St. George's sword is probably better. And also have them killed, or even you can blame it on the innkeeper from Silver Glade and kill him instead. Oh, Andrew. Andrew? Interesting. Interesting. Is it this one? Thick as Thieves? Bill Brassard from the Sasso Taylor. Was it this one? If it's Thick as Thieves, then no, I haven't finished it. I reasonably could. I don't know. I'll see if I can figure it out. Maybe between streams. I might pick that back up while I'm waiting. Oh, the Shiba Sword is crap? Really? Everyone talks a big game on that thing. Darn. Oh well. Figured it might be worth something, given that it's a whole massive collection quest. Where are these other camps? There's one over here, and I'll end it there. I'll end it at the next camp. Which is... Yeah. Come on. There we go. Whee. There we go. Good lord. I'll look around here and then wrap it up. Mark down the fine blacksmiths. Can do the thieving missions. Shiba Sword is like 65 attack but has low durability. I don't know. That's annoying. 65 attack is also much lower than my current one, which is the St. George one. It's what, 85, I think? Alright, anyway. I don't need to talk to the quartermaster, that's already set. More guards. More guards. The meeting room with no one in it. Meeting tent, I suppose, with no one in it. That's it. Well, alright. I will, I think I'm gonna call it a night, because it is about midnight. That is about all the time I got for this one. So we'll be back here next week. We may finish it next week. We'll see. We will see. Trebuchet is done. I might also do a little bit of playing around off stream just to make sure that I've got all the quests settled and picked up and all of that. And then I'll go from there. I'll go from there next week. See what else we got. Yeah, Magdeburg was 57. I already sold it, so it's gone. But yeah, St. George is very good. Stinger beats it in stabbing, but not in slashing, and I do a good bit of slashing. So I do a nice balance of stabbing and slashing. So the long sword of St. George is the best the 15th century blacksmith art can produce. Well, there you go. Beautiful balanced blade. It's ornamented sharp blade. Oh, balanced sword. Its ornamented sharp blade and piercing point can deal with any plate armor. The blade is fragile, though, and must be kept maintained. Apart from its combat qualities, the sword is a status symbol of the upper classes. Yeah, its durability is fairly low. 71. It's not that bad, though. Not that bad. 2 streams at best. Really? That's what you said last week. This is because it took too long here? Jeez. Alright, well, we'll see. Either way, I'm not in any hurry to finish this game regardless. I'm just... When you said, hey, we're getting to the end game 3 streams ago. I figured that would be near the end of the game. But what the hell do I know? Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if I go right at it. I'm in no rush to finish this game. I really enjoy this game a whole lot. I love the worlds. I love the environment and everything, the sort of immersion that we get into the incredible amount of realism of the period. It's a very impressive game. I absolutely love it. Anyway, like I said, I'm in no real rush to finish the damn thing. So if it takes 3 or 4 more weeks, whatever, that's fine. That is totally fine. Anyway, thank you one more time for joining me. I had a great time. Couple things, brief announcements. First of all, I am thinking about starting on Kick when I start whatever next game I'm starting on. So if you have thoughts on that, let me know. If you'd follow me over there, great. If you're not willing to follow me over there, feel free to be honest about that and let me know, and I will strongly consider sticking around here or trying to restream it, or trying to flip the stream, whatever it's called, do the thing that streamers do, you know. So that's a possibility. I'm also I'm hoping I'm getting awfully close to 1,000 subscribers. Put it that way. So if I can get there, or some more like when I get there, I'm thinking of having a very special treat of a video, an old one. I'll be polishing up, editing a bit, and getting ready for when I hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you can help me get there, like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, I cannot wait for it, and I'm hoping that it will show up, and we'll get to it, and I can maybe give you guys a fun little treat. Anyway, I do have a few other normal talking at the camera style lecture videos coming up as well that I have planned, so look forward to those in the coming weeks as well. Keep an eye out for all the things on the channel. Otherwise, I'll see you on Monday for Mass Effect Andromeda. I'll see you on Wednesday for more Kingdom Come Deliverance. Have a good night, everybody, and kick. Yeah, thinking about it. I've heard good things about it. I've heard good things. But anyway, until then, don't be safe. Remember, be well, and more importantly, be good.